Hello, this is Mrs. Scarple, and in this video I'm going to talk about how we can determine if a correlation coefficient is strong, if it is weak, or if we won't have any correlation. So if you look at my graphs that I have here, you'll see 4 different scatter plots, and below each scatter plot is an R value. That R value is the correlation coefficient for the data. How well does the data correlate or relate to one another? So if we look at this first graph, you'll notice that the data is decreasing as you look at the graph from left to right. That's why the correlation coefficient is negative. You'll also see that these points are close together, almost linear. That means that there's a strong correlation. So our correlation coefficient is negative 0.94. When you see this value for a correlation coefficient or a graph like this, we can describe this as having a strong negative correlation. When you look at the second graph, you'll notice that the points are increasing from left to right. These points are also close together, almost linear. So you'll see that our R value is positive because our points are increasing, our data is increasing. And you'll see that we have a correlation coefficient of 0.97. We would describe this as having a strong positive correlation. Our third graph is a bit more scattered out, but does tend to be moving in a negative direction. So that's why you see the negative in front of this, is because it does look or appear to be moving in a negative direction from left to right. This is considered to be a weak correlation because these points aren't as close to being linear. So we would describe this as being a weak negative correlation. And our fourth graph doesn't appear to be increasing or decreasing a whole lot. You'll notice that we do have a value of 0.05. But because we don't really have any particular direction of these points, this correlation value, this correlation coefficient, is really close to 0. In this case, we could probably describe this as having no correlation. Because we are so close to 0. So just a refresher, the closer you are to 1 or negative 1, the stronger the correlation. And generally speaking, anything from 0.7 to 1, or between negative 1 and negative 0.7 is considered strong. And that is how you would describe the correlations based off of correlation coefficient or the appearance of the scatter plot.